Alrighty, welcome back to the Coaching Collective podcast. I'm joined by James and Jude, and we're going to go over a couple things that I just listed on my notes and then expanded for a run sheet for this podcast, just like basic little things that pop up, which I think people will find extremely helpful, especially at this time of the year, whereby motivation levels usually suck, and we see a little bit of a regression in regards to just progress in general. So, to give everyone a little bit of a kick up the bum, as well as cover some topics that frequently come up, we're on the pod. Does everyone want to say hi?
Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Okay, that means we're gonna have to move this forward because by the time this gets released on the podcast, it'll probably be summer again.
Yeah, this is good. Get it out so people can
And
stop being
everyone will be nice and motivated to get skinny.
Yeah, get shredded,
So,
get your bikini body on. James, I think you might have to talk up a little bit, but
is it still bad? Yeah, you guys just keep yapping. I'll just adjust my settings.
yeah, all right,
See.
cool. Well, let's jump straight into it. This I was actually going to do as a solo episode, but I thought I may as well get the boys' touch on it, the male touch on it too, because obviously the perspective male to female is going to be slightly different. The point being is vanity, why you are not progressing. And the main thing that I wanted to touch on this is just people being really fixated on either keeping a slightly leaner physique, which obviously stops them from progressing how they intend to be progressing, or purely just the fact that they can't accept their body changing, they can't accept shifts in things, again, like body fat levels, etc. What do you guys experience with your clients or just people in general?
people do get scared, especially when they've like done a fat loss phase to start with and they've, worked their ass off, gotten lean. It's like they're too scared to sort of put on a bit of body fat. But then I don't think they realize as well, it's like you're gonna put on more muscle. The next time you cut, it's gonna be I'm not gonna say easier, but a more, I guess, I suppose be a bit of an easier process. You might not need to slog as much, or you might get leaner quicker, you look better when you get leaner. And they're always like, no, no, I don't put body fat on. And I'm not gonna be like it's not a male or female thing, but I do notice it a bit more with females. I get a little bit more scared to put on a bit of body fat. I notice.
Yeah. Obviously,
Body
I
fat,
only
body fat.
coach.
I was gonna say body fat's inevitable if you want to make progress.
Yeah. And obviously, because I only coach females, I obviously don't really see much of a difference between like male and female. And it's hard too to also understand the male perspective because the men that I'm surrounded by, like you guys and Michael, don't care whatsoever about like the accumulation of body fat because you know that's sweet. Like, I don't give a shit whether or not I'm like getting a little bit chubby because you're training so well, and how like everything's progressing. If everything's moving from like a training perspective and a strength perspective, that's like the clarification that you're making progress, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So the body
it's
fat,
super.
you sort of just like throw it over your shoulder because like you see your training move and you think, sweet, although I'm putting on body fat, I know that because these things are progressing well, that I'm still improving.
Yeah, I think it's like a guy that's more like elite understands it, so they don't give a shit. He's done it plenty of times. But someone who's doing it for the first time, they get a bit disheartened when they see their abs go or their abs fade a little bit. They lose maybe a little bit of vascularity in some areas, and then they're like, "Oh, I don't really like this." And I'm looking because they don't have much muscle on them, especially if they're right at the beginning. They start to maybe go through that phase where they're towards the back end of like a bit of a bulk, and they look a bit more like skinny fat. Not
Mm.
skinny fat, but there's more fat on them that they probably like or be comfortable with, and they just sort of like get a bit taken back on the process and they're sort of like, oh, I just want to be lean again. And they get lean and then they're back to square one rather than like seeing it out for quite a while.
Yeah, I think so many people too, their end goals require so much more muscle. This is both male and female. Their end goals require so much muscle than what they actually realize. And sometimes they start like the coaching process in a deficit. They lose the body fat, rah, rah, rah. They don't realize that they're still so far away from their end goal because the problem wasn't really the body fat. It was more so the fact that they don't have the muscle there. And now They don't have the shape that they thought they would. Like their glutes fall off because they were just holding more body fat, like through their lower, for example. And I think people get caught up in the idea that they're going backwards when in fact, like they're moving so far forwards. They just don't realize it yet because they just lack like the experience. And what you mentioned, Jude, in regards to like future deficit phases, I 100% agree with because you like there's nothing better than going through a long like improvement or surplus phase and then dieting and it's like a relief. And
Mm,
you have all the previous experience dieting, like you know the hunger's just temporary, so it's a lot easier to apply yourself because like you know what to expect. And with more muscle, like the changes that you see are always so much more predictable and consistent. Like you see changes so much better, like on a weekly basis, as opposed to like an initial deficit phase when you have not as much muscle. But again, like the holding on to a specific look, I feel like gets in the way of so many people making progress, which is a shame because then they just delay it for so long.
yeah. Yeah, they lose all that sort of
I
like
reckon
motivation that they drive off.
Mm.
getting stronger, getting stronger is probably better than like I think getting stronger is like more impressive than having like the aesthetic look. So I feel like the growth phase is probably something that's a little bit more enjoyable in the sense of just being like, all right, if I'm getting stronger, it's like I'm inevitably putting on muscle mass, which means for the
Yeah.
next deficit phase, I'm probably going to be bigger.
Mm. Yeah, 100%. And I
Or
think because like you don't really I think especially female wise, unless somebody's like recomping really well, you don't really see a massive shift in visuals like in improvement, surplus phases, whatever you want to call them. So I understand how it can be sort of unincentivizing if you're not somebody who understands and is focused on like constant progression and you don't see the value in like gaining strength. So when week to week you see yourself get like a little bit softer, a little bit softer, a little bit softer, I feel like that's like the first thing they grab to, as opposed to like saying, "Oh, I'm a little bit softer, but I'm also not thinking about food 24/7. I also don't feel like complete shit and I'm making progress in the gym and getting stronger, which again is the whole like vanity side of everything."
100%.
visual is something that's a lot easier to I guess grasp onto because of how often you actually will look at yourself because you see yourself in a mirror, you wake up every day, you look at yourself, you have a shower, you look at yourself. Whereas like strength within a training is something that like isn't visually looked at all the time. Like you don't sit there and every day go back to your logbook and see what you were bench pressing 6 weeks ago. So I
Yeah.
think it's easier to cling on to an aesthetic look opposed to clinging on to like seeing that progress through strength as well.
Mm. Yeah. I find too, it's purely just like in this day and age as well, where like you'll be just on Instagram and see somebody and like the amount of messages that I get from clients and they like send me specific people's like Instagram photos and say like, oh, like I want to look like this or how far off this will I be and whatnot. And I think they fail to realize that a lot of the time, like these people are either doing a prep and documenting so much of it so they have year round good photos of themselves to post and they may not even post photos of when they're holding more body fat. And like just in general, I feel like people um are so fixated on always looking a specific way and just like holding that look. And again, it's hard because like you see coaches and you see people who compete who stay lean for majority of the year. So you sort of think that, oh, okay, like I can do that too. And they're probably 10 years into training and just naturally maintain a leaner physique and look like that, which most people can't do, especially not obviously like beginners.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah. You just don't have enough tissue there. I probably don't even have enough tissue to be able to like manage that, I don't think. Like
Mm.
I think it's very oh, but at the same time, it depends. But like yeah, it definitely doesn't work for a beginner. There's no way.
Yeah, I feel like it takes so much. People don't realize it takes so long for you to get to a point whereby you have enough muscle to actually like maintain comfortably, like an athletic, fit, semi-jacked looking physique that's lean. Like it's not something that happens when you diet once and you go through one 12-week like bulk. It's literally years and
Mhm.
years and years.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
mm. Moral of the
It's
story,
like
and
the
it's
whole,
sorry, you
there
go.
you go. No, I was going to say, it's like the whole thing when people think they can do it's like, oh, let's bulk for like, let's do like a 12-week bulk and then
Mm.
we'll cut down and see how much muscle we can build. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
brother,
Yeah.
if I was doing 12-week bulks all the time, I'd be Mr. Olympia if they worked
Mm. And
because you'd just be burning through them.
yeah, and like it's also, again, this ties into the social media thing. I always see like the same people constantly posting that, oh, like I'm dieting, super happy with the progress that I've made in my surplus. And I thought, and I think to myself, like, hold on a minute. Like you were posting like 8 or 10 weeks ago that you were jumping into another mini cut. And you see that these people don't make progress, and that's why. And it's because they get to a point whereby it gets uncomfortable. They hold a little bit more body fat. Maybe their clothes don't fit as well. They don't present how they want for likes and whatnot on social media. And the first thing that they do is jump to a mini cut or a dieting phase, and it just like stops and like wrecks all of the momentum that you finally just started really building, anyways. And then like you run into health issues, and then you feel like all you do is just constantly fixate on food. And it's usually because people can't handle their bodies changing or going to the gym and wearing something more baggy to just like get your sessions done. Um, yeah, it also ties in with like summer dieting too. People who always diet for summer, or like they'll have their friends, their like f distant friends' wedding that they'll diet for. And they'll diet 16 weeks. And again, like they sort of apply themselves, but they just like waste so much time and lose so much time that could be spent elsewhere. But they want to look good for their friend's wedding in a suit or a dress that nobody's even going to notice the 5 kilo difference
Yeah.
in. Mm.
It's, I was saying, like, I was talking to Jude about this the other day because he was saying he reckons he wanted to do season C. And I was saying, like, are you going to do you know, have you decided yet?
No, still haven't.
Yeah. Well, there was a thing like we are talking about. It was like, oh, it gives you 6 months to build, right? And it gives you an extra 6 months. And I was like to him, realistically, in a perfect world, I'm like, it gives you an extra four. I was like, because you got to take into account like if there's going to be any setbacks. There's weeks where fuck, you might pull up sick, you might pull up injured, you might not push as hard. Like you've got to pull back a little bit. So it's like you don't inevitably get that much longer. But it's like the people that do like I hate sort of drawing this back into like bodybuilding all the time, but at the same time, it's like the people that go into a prep or a dieting phase, let's just say hypothetically. And again, it's like they come out of a prep, they do a 6 months off season, and then they go back into a prep. And it's like, if you did build that tissue through that 6 months anyway, guess what the first tissue to go is? That
Yeah.
tissue that you built. And inevitably, especially naturally, you're, this is particularly probably with females more than it is for males, but unless you're some genetic anomaly, but most likely that tissue that you built in 6 months, when you are in prep and you do inevitably again lose tissue, that'll probably be the first tissue that you lose, that tissue that you built to like bring up your weak points
Mm.
in season for the next show.
Yeah, this is slightly off topic, but I always apologize, even in like looms to clients, when I draw example to like prep settings. But the reason why I find it so helpful is because it's in like it's you're giving an example that doesn't have any extra variables because everything's so controlled. So like so predictable. You know what's going to happen. You like can see everything happening because adherence isn't some like a variable that's impacting results, if that makes sense. So like
Yeah.
for people listening, everything that we say applies to lifestyle people, but like drawing two examples of people, say in a prep, whether it be for like getting on stage or even a photo shoot prep, or even just like a hobby builder who is like 100%, it's just really helpful because you don't have to think about, oh, why is this happening? Has this person like not been sticking to things? It is, you know, that everything's 100%. You can purely just like assess what's happening based on your actual programming as opposed to whether or not it's being executed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. I would say, but moral of the story in regards to like the whole vanity point is that um you get so much, and I just wish that so many people could just commit to like 8, 9, 10 months straight of just sitting above maintenance. It doesn't even have to be like a massive surplus whatsoever, but just in a positive point that isn't stressful for your body, isn't like psychologically stressful for you to manage, and like the amount of progress that you would make compared to any other year where you just jump in and out of every phase would be like night and day. But I do understand why people are reluctant to do so.
I was actually having this
Yeah, 100%.
chat with a client the other day. It's like he's in a dieting phase. He's like starving. He's hungry. Like he's still going out having like an off-plan stuff. And he's just like, oh, like the next 6 weeks, I really want to just get peeled, but like I'm just food focused, blah blah blah. And like if I have one off plan, it sort of derails me a bit. I'm like, you need to just sort of like learn to enjoy the phase that you're in, so then it actually makes it sustainable. Because if you're just like in a dieting phase and you're just dreading it, and all you want to do is go into a surplus, you're going to hate it. And if you're in a surplus and you're dreading it, you just want to be back in a dieting phase and getting lean, you're going to hate that as well. And you're not going to execute it properly. So it's like, just learn to just focus on the one thing you're doing and enjoy it. So then it actually makes it sustainable.
Mm.
They're inevitably the people that are in like a vicious cycle though of being like, I want to put on muscle, oh, but I'm putting on too much body fat. I want to be lean. Oh, but now I feel tired, so I want to go back into a surplus. And that's where it becomes like that vicious cycle of people that never really progress because you're just constantly like going through this, like, I guess it's like a yo-yo diet, right?
Mm.
Mm,
Yeah, which also sort of carries the theme of a constant like trying to get away from discomfort that's inevitable. Like whether or not you diet, whether or not you're in a surplus and you're trying to build muscle, it doesn't matter what phase you're in, there's always going to be a level of discomfort that is
100%.
like encompassed within the phase. So you may as well just like learn to sit in it and embrace it. You either put a baggy t-shirt on so that you can go to the gym and train and not train in like a stringy little crop top that makes you feel self-conscious, or you um complain about like that you can't go out for brunch for the 14th weekend in a row when you're dieting, or you complain about, low energy levels and you're constantly thinking about food and whatnot. Like it doesn't matter really where you are. It's more so just learning what's encompassed within each phase and just how you can embrace it better. But
Mm.
yeah. Let's jump on to the next point. A little bit more nutrition focused, just in regards to mastering the basics of nutrition. This point actually popped up because when we got to Bangkok, I thought, man, people really overcomplicate their nutrition. And for those who like don't follow me or Michael on social media, we currently are in Bangkok and we've recently traveled um, over here. And every time we travel and we settle down into a new place, we like the first thing that we do, or even prior to even going, we always plan accommodation around like where the gyms are, where like good supermarkets are, etc. But the first thing that we did when we got here was like plan out what our meals are going to be based on what's available, like what's cheap, because usually internationally all the imported stuff's like too expensive. Anyways, it had me thinking about how much people overcomplicate their nutrition and how far basic nutrition gets you. And it pops up even like when programming and like people wanting recipes after recipes after recipes, but failing to recognize that so much more gratification would come from learning how to season food properly, cook food differently, or like use different cooking methods and just like nail it so you see results. What are your thoughts,
Yeah.
my friend?
100%. I think doing all these fancy recipes every week and changing shit up so constantly is it's no good. I'm not the biggest fan of it personally myself. I think you should stick to something. I mean, look, off season, food's high. You want to play around with stuff. Sometimes I'll just do like maybe pick one meal if you want to macro match it here and there and change it up a little bit. But all those like crazy fancy recipes, it's like, man, just go fucking eat it in the shops if you really want it that much. If it's an off season, if it's dieting phase, it's like, okay, you got one goal of getting lean, just get lean. Just eat the mincemeat and vegetables. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I I have this theory that there is no way, no way. I don't think, or I reckon maybe 5% of my clients could stick to the way that I eat for a week
No,
because
really?
of how because of how shit it is. It's just shit as. Like I literally like just then, what did I have post workout? I had rice cakes, tomato, and rump steak that I meal prepped on Sunday.
You're like
That's
a,
smash.
you're
To
like,
be honest,
you remind
the
me,
rump,
James, of like you're a snack plate person. Like
no,
you
it's just
know,
convenient.
I know, but you remind me of like each food group, you don't give a fuck what it is. You just put it
What
all
it is.
together on a plate
Yep,
and like get the job done.
exactly right. There's a
Yeah.
carb, there's a protein, there's a vegetable, and a fat, and that's it. That's what I eat. That's how I eat. It's like when people want these fancy meals, I'm like good at it. Like I'm good at writing fancy meals. Like I have
Yeah.
fucking this repertoire of meals, right? But it's just one of those things where I don't do it myself. I don't eat half the meals that I program for clients. I probably never eaten before in my life.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Like
I'll leave like fancy
never.
curries
Like
sitting
I've
on
never
the
even
fucking
thought it. Like
plate.
it's probably just something that I've been like, oh, this and this and this can make it good. And like I eat like a borderline. It's probably like you have those like you eat like a child. It's like you eat like I literally eat for fuel. Like I don't eat. I don't even eat to enjoy my food. You know when I eat to enjoy my food when I go out for a meal because
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's inevitably how it should be. Like I don't. Not to say that I don't enjoy how I eat. It's not like I sit there and look at like my that meal just then I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to eat this. Like I'm still fine eating it. Like I'm not dreading it. Even tonight, it's like I haven't even got my next meal planned. I don't even know what the fuck I'm having for dinner. I'm just gonna wing it. Like I've got everything at home. I've got
Yeah.
everything at home. I've got my proteins. I've got my carbs. I've got vegetables in the fridge. I've got fats in the house. I've got like avocado, nut butters, like everything, dark chocolate, whatever. Yeah. But I will just grab it all and put it together and
Yeah.
then work from there. I'm not sitting there like, oh, I have to make sure I enjoy this next meal. It's like I'm just eating to eat. That's
That
it.
is like a level of intuition, however, that takes, it's like that's a skill to build, which
Yeah.
like takes time. I would say for like the average person, however, like the rest, I'm all for obviously enjoying your meals because at the end of the day, if you've gone from eating in such like a poor way and you're constantly changing all your meals, you're cooking something different every single night. If I then give you a meal plan that has like one option and I say, sweet, you're going to stick to this for the next 4 weeks, like there's going to be kick up for it. As much as I can try and convince somebody and show them research about like your satiety and whatnot, they're still probably going to kick up about it and think, fuck, this is boring. This is shit. I don't want to eat this.
yeah,
But like keeping the same food groups, I find is really helpful, but then changing like very small elements within their meals. And then over time, it's just like they're pretty much eating the same meal plan. They just don't realize that all I've done is maybe changed the
changing.
carb source, added
Yeah,
maybe like some fucking kimchi, pickled ginger there, like a different sauce, rah, rah, rah. But like the staples stay fairly basic, and then they start to obviously like get modeled what good basic nutrition is. I would say the biggest one that burns me in regards to like just nutrition in general is people trying to make up their protein and they're like, oh, like I need what's a good protein hack that you have? And I always think, why don't you just eat more fucking protein?
chicken.
Like, yeah, why don't you just increase
Instead
the amount of chicken that you eat in a meal? Like,
of 150
I will
grams, do
never
200.
understand that. People needing like protein bars and this little recipe or this, that, and whatever. Like,
Protein chips. Yeah,
Unless it's a Ninja Creamy.
but like
yeah.
even that, you could technically count that as like a fourth meal that's like
I
fairly balanced with like you add nut
Yeah.
butter, you add berries, whatever.
Chuck some Biscoff in there.
Yeah, but like a little fucking protein mug cake or whatnot is like a hack because oh I can't like hit my protein. I always think, what do you mean?
I said to Jude, Jude, was it you that I was telling about the mug cake that I had the other night? Yeah, we went out for dinner to Krabby Crab Boil, and like obviously I'm not a huge seafood person, so like I didn't even eat that much. Like
So
it
you
was
just
just
ate
like
dessert.
honestly, I said to Jude, it was like I left out because I was like I knew it was going to be like loaded with butter, like all that kind of shit. And I left out like fuck. I think I left out like 1,500 calories for it just in case. Anyway, and I went and I ate fuck all. Like I
Oh yeah.
had barely anything, and it was like all I ate was just like a little bit of crab, couple prawns, a little bit of fish. That was it. And I got
Right.
home and I'm like, there was no because I just don't like seafood. Like
Mm.
anyway, like got home and I was like, there's no way I had 1,500 calories there. Like no way. And I was like, and there's no way I also like hit protein. So like just went into the fridge, opened the fridge, got a cup out of the cupboard, 2 scoops of protein, cracked an egg in it, splash of water, mixed it, chucked it in the microwave, 60 seconds, pulled it out, ate it, went to bed.
See, that's different from like the daily trying to hit a protein intake and trying to squeeze little like Quest protein chips into your day. Like, you
Mm.
get what I mean?
Yeah.
On the day to day, it should just be like a simple rotation of meals that you know digest well. And one of the biggest misconceptions is I think that like people don't recognize that so much gratification doesn't come from like the flavor and the excitement and like how trendy the meal is, but eating it, it makes you feel good and like you see an improvement in whatever goals you have, whether it be like health related things or body composition. Like,
Yeah.
mm,
My
eat
Yeah.
favorite thing
human. I
is
don't know why people cannot eat like adults. Like,
think about it like this, right? This is what I'd say to most people. Think about your dog when you go to feed your dog dinner, how much it G's up over its dinner.
mm.
It's been eating the same fucking thing
I'm doing the
for
same
like
thing for like
years,
18
like its
years.
whole life. It's been eating the same thing, and it still G's up over that meal.
So people should be grateful for like a week, one weekly change then.
It's like that dog G's up every time it sees you pull that can of dog food out of the fridge.
Yeah, and like it even just like mental load and like budget wise and like you don't want to open a fridge and you have half opened like jars of everything that every week you've got to
Yeah.
throw shit out because you've got 100 different recipes and if your phone goes dead, you don't know what your meals are. Like you should be able to like sort of memorize what your
Oh, yeah.
meals are.
Yeah, and not
Yeah.
think like there's 150 mils of coconut cream in this one and this one and that one. And the
Yeah.
way
And
I
even
do
like
it,
budget wise too. If someone says to me, "Oh yeah, like budget's an issue," I say, "Sweet, we'll just simplify the heck out of everything."
You're
Because
eating mince every meal.
mm,
well, the way I do it, the way I like to do it, just to keep things simple, it's like if I'm going out on the weekend and eating, I'm going to get something I enjoy. But during the week, a simple protein, a simple carb, a simple fat, and I just change my sauces. I don't even count them in. They're just all low calorie ones, but they taste good. Go on Oz Mrs. Taste. What's that sauce company? They got like a billion different like cool sauces on there. Bro, just go change them up every single day, but at least have like the basics sorted. Just
yeah.
makes life so much easier. I don't want to be in the kitchen for an hour cooking something I'm going to eat in 3.5 minutes.
Mm.
I Thai light sweet chili sauce on everything.
Yeah, that's great.
It tastes good.
I feel like basic nutrition too, it makes, or like even just sticking to your meal plan throughout the week makes you not lose the novelty of going and eating out. Like
Mm.
if you're eating, you're trying to macro track in all of these like big recipes because you want to eat like what you had last weekend and rah rah rah. Like you should be able to go out, eat off your meal plan, enjoy yourself, and then get back into it, your normal like foods and value how it makes you feel and everything like that. And you want to be able to go out and it be like exciting.
So yeah,
If my meal
100%.
has more than 5 ingredients, it's too hard.
Yeah, literally.
Too hard. It's
Yeah.
like I understand. It's like you want to eat something that you're enjoying. I get that, and I know we've touched on that a lot. But at the same time, it's like, don't you just want it to be easy?
The thing is, though, you can make it still taste good. For example,
Yeah.
Yeah,
if I gave someone that didn't think right, didn't think properly, I gave them beef mince, rice noodles, and veg. They'd think like, fuck, that's shit as. It tastes boring. Bro, slice a bit of onion in there, season the absolute fuck out of it, put a bit of soy sauce, put a bit of sriracha, a bit of this, bit of that, bit of teriyaki, fry it up in
100%.
the pan, make it all taste good. Bro, it tastes mad. Top it
Yeah.
with a bit, I don't know, something nice, bit of Vietnamese mint or something.
It's like when
Bang.
people are like chicken and rice. Isn't that boring? It's like no,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
it's like I season my food.
yeah.
Controversial opinion, but if you cannot make chicken, rice, and veg taste good, you don't know how to cook. Like, just admit that you're a shit cook, that you
Yeah.
don't know how to season food, you don't know how to swap a little bit of your carbohydrate for like a sauce, for example, and you don't know that you can heat a meal up in a pan after it's been cooked to make it taste like it's fresh. You don't know how to
You're right.
poach chicken, you don't know how to do pulled chicken. Like, just say you can't cook.
The goat of meal prep is you get a slow cooker and you literally just put all your chicken breast in it raw and you fill it up with a bottle of stock and you
Hmm.
just let it slow cook and then
Mm.
you just boil it. And then
You
that's
I've
know,
it.
been
And then
doing
you top it up with
roast,
like a sauce when you eat it.
chuck
mm.
and topside roast because I have like And I find females, it pops up, females, women, it pops up quite frequently that like they don't like eating meat. They don't like eating red meat for whatever reason. They think it hurts their digestion or they can't digest it or rah, rah, rah. I find that pulled meat is super easy because it reheats the best out of like any
Mm.
prepped
Yeah.
beef, and it's
And
so
who
easy
doesn't like
to
pulled meat?
freeze. Yeah, like the extra collagen from pulled meats is great for obviously GI health. And like you can add it to so many things. Like you can add pulled beef over like mashed potato. You can put it in pastas. You can do like
Yeah.
burgers, tacos, whatever.
Yeah.
And even when it comes to basics of nutrition, even if you're not someone who meal preps all of your meals in advance, protein prepping is like the biggest hack ever. Just
Yeah.
having like 7 servings of the protein, like your chicken that you're having with your lunch, whatever you want, in the freezer. Same thing with like the pulled beef. You pull it out and you just whack it on like whatever you have at home. And at least you're guaranteed to be hitting these targets and like you don't feel as restricted with the same meals over and over and over again.
You
That's
know what's really
literally,
good? Not
here you
going.
go. I was gonna say that's literally what I did this week. I literally on Sunday I cooked like my 4 day, like my Monday to Thursday worth of like rump steak. Again, I meal prepped rump steak because I don't actually think rump tastes any better cooked fresh or warmed up because rump
Take
is
shit
shit. Yeah,
anyway.
rump is shit regardless. It does taste better. It does taste better when you cook it fresh, but either or, like you can't compare it to something like eye fillet or a ribeye or like whatever. So you can't. So like I just meal prepped that. I cooked my mince for four meals worth. I even boiled eggs for 4 meals worth, like 4 days worth, sorry. And like it's been
Yeah,
so
it's
easy these
good.
last 3 days. I don't even have to. I wake up in the morning. I don't have to cook. The only thing I have to cook in the morning is I have to cut my sourdough bread and put in the toaster. That's literally all I have to
That's,
do.
that's so good. Fuck, I miss sourdough, man.
Uh,
Oh. And it's just like,
No, you know, it was grouse. I was doing chicken in this slow cooker, but I was buying on Amazon. And I think it was a iHerb that was selling it. I think it was
yeah,
iHerb. G Hughes sweet maple barbecue sauce.
sugar-free barbecue sauce.
Oh, bro. I was slapping that shit in there, and it was like a barbecue pulled chicken. It was fucking unreal.
I wonder how much that is.
I'd
Do you
start
even
doing that. You know what, another hack, really good hack. You
know?
buy the I think the brand is Nativia, coconut drops. When you put rice in the rice cooker, you put
Oh,
like
yeah.
a tube in there, and bro, it's literally just coconut rice. Crazy, so good. Then you put on top chicken, and then you drizzle the kikkoman teriyaki over it. Unreal meal.
I just think simple is better. Simple is easy. I
It
want
is.
my meal prepping and I want my diet to be easy.
Simple
Mm.
gets results, and you never, ever, ever. I would love you to find me somebody who like manages like their workload, maybe has kids, but also has a great like physique and um great health and has reached all their goals, who has like really complex nutrition, because I can guarantee you that they don't.
Mm.
Mm.
Like they eat for purpose in a way that they enjoy, and they enjoy it so much because they realize that eating in a simple way makes you feel good.
Mhm.
I think the clients that I have that get the best results are often the ones that just don't think about it.
Mm.
Yeah,
Like
that
they
is.
sort of do what's on. Like I have so many clients that have probably been eating the same foods for like months.
Yeah, I reckon
And just
um
amounts have changed. Like
through 2023 into 2024, I think I went like 53 weeks eating the same bolognese pasta every single week, meal prepped it every single week.
now the thought of it, you're like,
I would love if we had it here, if we could get like red good quality
red
mince
meat.
here,
Yeah.
I would make it because I have it's like frozen in my freezer at home.
That's me with cream of rice outside of prep. I'm like in prep, as soon as prep would start or a dieting phase starts, I'm like, oh, cream of rice, baby, let's do it. As soon as my dieting phase and my prep finishes, I'm like, oh, cream of rice.
As soon as I lose my appetite in the
Not
off season, the
that.
cream of rice goes straight out for cereal. It's just an instant.
Uh, I can't do cream of rice in an off season, even if it's like not even a lot of volume. Like I still just can't do it. I don't know what it is. I remember when I used to do the fucking cream of rice muffins all the time in my dieting phase,
Yeah.
and now I can't even remember what the recipe is.
Someone asked me for them the other day.
Because I stopped doing it. They asked for that recipe.
Yeah.
What, from seeing me do it or just in general?
Well, they must have. They said I want cream of rice muffins. I don't know who else would
Maybe
do
they've
it.
seen fucking what's his name do it, Daniel Coffeen.
Ah, yeah, he's done them as
Maybe I
well.
should do
See,
it. Maybe I
Matt,
should do. Maybe we should all do like a day in the kitchen with Julian, and we should all just cook a recipe or cook recipes that we
I've just
have.
Cook for
spoken
each
about
other.
that we don't like recipes.
Nah, nah, I'm talking like simple,
Say
simple
that.
recipes. I'm talking simple recipes. Those
Chicken rice,
muffins.
the ultimate chicken rice video.
Well,
Mm.
that cream of rice meal is like making a smoothie. I literally throw everything into a blender. I blend it. The only difference is I pour it into a muffin tin and put it in the oven.
Mm.
Like that's not hard.
Yeah.
I don't have to, I don't have to saute my garlic and onions and then pull it out and then sear off my chicken and then take my chicken out to then put something else back in to then put it back in.
Yeah. But that's
Like
even like, say, if you take eggs, for example, there are 100 different ways you could take um, an egg meal that, say, I programmed and make it different. Like you can do frittatas, you can do them as like little egg bites, you can do omelets, you can do scrambles, you can do like whatever. Like you can change the same meal to do so many different things. Again, chicken and rice, you can do stir fries. You can change like the rice to rice noodles and do like noodle salads. Like there is so much that you can do with the exact same ingredients. So, yeah. Should we move
make
on
me
to
some
the next point?
Mm.
chicken pesto sandwich.
Mm,
Mhm.
all
Next
that.
point. Actually, before we go on, what's the most fucked, like boring, grotty meal you've had?
You
Grotty.
didn't even
Like
open
something
it.
just whack that like a lifestyle client would hear and just think like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Mm,
you ready?
Hmm?
You ready for this one?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This would be one that no one would fish. So blue grenadine
Yeah.
on rice cakes with cinnamon and mustard.
No,
That
well,
doesn't
I'm kind of feeling that. I'd eat that right now.
The thought of that makes me ill. I was doing that when I was eating fuck all calories at the back end of prep, and my
Yeah.
pre-workout meal was three rice, and that was my workout meal was three rice cakes, and my post-workout meal was three rice cakes.
I reckon mine is either chicken breast that I air fried the whole breast because I could not be fucked because I was that cooked it
I've
week
done that
out.
as
I
well.
literally threw the whole breast in there. It was dry.
I've done that
I
as
had
well.
sweet potato, which I boiled and it was shit, and I just put it on top of that. But first, I like grabbed 20 grams of dark chocolate and like melted that on the sweet potato, threw the chicken on top with cinnamon and salt, and like mixed it and mashed it all up. Either that, or it was just after the show, post show, I was still fucking starving. I had no rice left, and my dinner was salmon and rice, so I had a bowl of, the Good Society cream of rice.
Yeah. Oh,
I
with
had that,
salmon in it. No
I had that
way.
coconut flavor, and I had a piece of salmon on top, and I mushed it in.
I've
And
done
it was
I've done chicken. I've done
disgusting.
chicken in cream of rice before.
Yeah, no. Ugh.
like
Yeah, no.
congee.
Actually, I remember I was gonna say, yeah, like congee. I was gonna say I remember doing cream of rice when I traveled to Queensland with Alana for her work once. And I had cream of rice in the hotel that we were in, and I cooked my chicken and I was sitting there looking at both of them and I didn't have whey. And I was just like tipped the chicken into the cream of rice, mixed it. I was also in prep when I did that as well,
Yeah, that
actually.
explains it.
I can't think of any weird meal combinations that I've done. The only thing I can think of, remember when I used to have that beef mince salad for breakfast through my prep, James?
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was
I remember that.
it was
Maybe you
beef
posted it.
mince in like 200 grams of just like lettuce, and that was
It's
my
meal
breakfast. Yeah, and I fucking
breakfast.
loved it.
The zero carb protein fat breakfast meal I still will hands down say is the best meals of all time.
Me
Hmm.
too. You always feel so good after it. And it doesn't like spike hunger in any way, I find as well. Um the only like gross thing I can think of is not a gross meal combination, but just like eating meal prep that was like fucked because it sat in my car for like 6 hours when it was stinking hot. And it
Oh
was
no.
barramundi and it had like congealed at the bottom and like when it like sits there it gets like the thick layer of like jelly
Yeah.
and then it was like hot in my car and I ate it. It was
Hey, we all have goals. We all have goals to hit.
yeah. I thought it was great. I was having like I got back to the car and I thought, fuck yeah. Like the heat of the car's like acted as a microwave, so I don't even have to eat it cold.
Like it was slow cooked in the oven.
Yeah, actually. And to this day, any meals that I need to bring, like say if I go to the gym and like I take my laptop with me and I'm outside in like 35-degree heat, my meal will be in my bag. I don't give a fuck if it's not cold or it needs to be heated. Like you just eat it.
Well, I don't know. It depends how long it's been there for. Personally, wouldn't have eaten this barramundi out of the car for me. But if it's like if I go to the gym and I put my meal in my backpack, like I don't really care.
If I'm in prep, I'm eating it. If I'm peak off season, I'm going straight to fucking in.
For peak off season, maybe I'll get sick. Maybe I'll get sick and replace this meal with froyo.
Uh, all right, let's move on to the next point, which is, I think, the last one. Yeah, last point. Is busy a choice?
Is busy a choice?
Being busy a choice?
Yes. Actually, it's funny. We
In,
did when we did
in
the
regards to like
yesterday.
health, fitness goals.
I when we did the one of my reels yesterday, one of the biggest things was talking about how like people say that they're too busy. It's like, and it's you've probably seen it before. I feel like a million people say it. It's like you're not busy. It's just not a priority right now. Is the old saying, and it's true. It's
Yeah.
like
He's
everyone's
like, no.
got the same like everyone's got the same 24 hours in a day.
My only exception to that would be, um, like, say, full-time parents
Hmm.
in specific situations, because I also coach a lot of parents with either like babies or young children who also
That's
make it
different though.
work extremely well. But I
But
think
you know
that's
what?
very, what?
They're not the ones that complain that they're too busy.
No, I know. But sometimes there will be parents who complain that they're too busy, and it's hard to say,
Yeah,
oh,
because
like, are you actually? Because it's very individual. But I think with parents specifically, it's more so whether or not they had the habits established beforehand. If you take, say, a mum who has two kids who, for her whole entire life, has never been active, never like really done anything in regards to like focusing on her health and wellness, I can guarantee you they're going to say that they're too busy, as opposed to say a mum who has like a sporting background, who like still has the same kids, same age, works the same amount of hours, but they already have those habits. So I think it's quite individual. I reckon the easiest way to tell how busy you are is literally just screen time.
Yeah,
Literally,
that's what I said as well.
all screen time can be done while you're walking.
That's one that I draw back often to people. I say I bet
Every,
you
every
sit down on the
email.
couch. Yeah, you sit down on the couch, you scroll TikTok for 40 minutes guaranteed. Because like I even do that. And it's like you could do that while you're walking. That's what I actually did yesterday. I needed like 6K steps and I walked on the walking pad while I like
Must be
just
nice.
TikToked. Fucking must be nice. That's what happens when you're too heavy and you break your walking pad, mate.
Yeah, your third
And
one.
just like literally like scroll TikTok, watched a YouTube video, did some work, like,
Yeah.
and then I
I
was like, oh, and I actually ended up going over my steps because I was so distracted. Like,
I recently discovered like reading while I walk, whether it's when I'm at the gym or on the walking pad. Like every morning when I get up here, I walk for 30 to 40 minutes whilst I read. Like I don't touch my phone, and it's so easy to like do things that you enjoy doing but kill two birds with one stone.
is there a fitness center in your apartment complex that you're in?
Very little one. Yeah.
Ah, so you do have a treadmill there.
I have a treadmill. Mm.
Yeah,
But a
that
walking
makes
pad
it as well.
solves most people's problems. Or
Yeah.
even just like little things, like you pack your lunch for work the night before, you put your clothes out that you're going to get up and walk in for half an hour, like your trackie, your jacket the night before, so that when you get up, you don't waste 5 minutes trying to find an outfit. You don't waste 15 minutes putting your lunch together. You get up, you walk for 20, and then you're already ahead of your day.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I think too, remembering that, like, especially, I can't talk on behalf of obviously like other coaches and other services, but with how adaptable like the app is, obviously, that we use, there is so much that you can do from a programming perspective to like free up time. Like we can alter sessions. So instead of them being an hour, even if they're like 25 minutes, you get in, you get out. Even if you're like training from home, you buy some things from Kmart. Like it's better than nothing. You buy a walking pad. You, um, again, like completely simplify your nutrition so that you can do a 1 hour protein prep every single week and your protein's prep for the whole entire week. Or you
My
buy a
favorite
slow
one,
cooker.
my favorite one is when I see mums at the gym that like, especially like newer mums that have their kids in prams at the gym. And then
Yeah.
I sit there and I think to myself, so it can be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
But also,
done.
again, with babies, I think it's a very individual thing because, say, if you're a mum who's like cluster feeding, whereby you constantly have a baby literally on you, I
Yeah.
understand how in a situation like that it would be extremely difficult. Or, say, for example, if gyms like
Yeah, that's different.
ban
That's different.
prams or whatnot. But it is very common that like the creches within gyms are becoming a lot more popular and yeah. But even like again, home training. I have I think like five mums currently who all train from home. Even if it's like two sessions a week, it's still better than nothing. If they miss one session for whatever reason, there is still so much we can do with like nutrition, steps, whatever to help improve whatever their goal is.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like it goes so much past mums anyways, because I find that mums
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
don't pop up as much of an
That's
issue.
because mums,
They're already
mums are
used to
all
managing so
elite.
much.
Not many mums would probably listen to this podcast, but I feel like mums are elite normally. Like
Yeah.
they're used to working off nothing, so they're
Yeah.
pretty fucking. I feel like they're so busy as well. It's like, especially for dieting, most mums are normally pretty good because they're so busy that they forget to eat, which is like,
Not a good thing. I think it's just more so that they reach a point whereby they recognize that if they don't fill up their own cup, it does impact their children and it impacts their family. And like the meal prep is like a hack for them. So they enjoy and they like figure out a way to make it work. I've
mm,
noticed that probably the most common like busy thing is people who like you can tell like just manage their time so poorly. Like they're not busy, it's like blatantly like laziness.
You just ask them, you say, "Do you work on a Sunday?" If they say no, then you never need to reply. That's just the answer. They don't
Mm.
work on a Sunday. They have a whole day to fucking do everything. Cook all your food if you have to.
Yeah.
Plan your week. Get shit ready.
Mm.
It'll save you hours of your week.
Training session can be done on a Sunday. Put all
There's
your
one. Yeah.
supplements in their little containers or Ziploc bags, ready for
Yeah.
you to like take everything with you. Mm.
mm.
There's
The
no
big one
excuse.
is, well, like even if for people that have like a gym around the corner, so say the gym's like a 10-minute drive from their like house, for example. It's like I have clients that like drive like 20, 25 minutes to the gym. I don't like drawing back to me as an example that drives 20 and 25 minutes to the gym because it's like people will be like, oh, but you've got a little bit more freedom than I do. Which like it doesn't really mean that anyway, because I still do have the same like 24 hours that you do. But I'm like, you're driving 10 minutes to the gym. I have these people that are driving 20, 25. You get an extra 15 minutes of time to kill compared to them to be doing like the same thing. And it's like, so you can't get your cardio done. Why? And it's like you've got that extra 15 minutes on XYZ that's going for the same goal as you, does the same amount of cardio, just say hypothetically. And it's like they're making it work. So like why aren't you making it work?
Yeah. And there's a way around everything. Like say cardio, for example, save up a couple like paychecks and marketplace $100 elliptical that somebody's
Nah,
selling.
nah, fuck that. But it's like you can go in on a non-training day.
But even then, like it's so easy, like just in general, like it's so easy to work around these things anyways, and like pull an extra 10, 15 minutes here or there.
Yeah.
And
But like
like,
10 minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes, like you don't notice. Sorry.
and
I go like brain dead staring into space for 10, 15 minutes sometimes.
yeah, and like um, I for weeks drove like an hour to the gym every single day and was still like sitting down, getting like 7, 8 hours of work done, still hitting 12, 15,000 steps, still managing to read my book and like prioritize time towards myself, still training, still eating all my meals as per usual, but everything's already sort of like pre-planned and set out for me to do all of that.
Mhm.
So
I do think as well, it's very like the making the gym a priority as well and being like, it's like I'm too busy. It's like, oh no, it's just not a priority right now. Is very dependent on the person's goals. Like if the person is doing this because their health is at detriment, say you are someone that's, I don't know, like overweight, like quite overweight, and you're saying, no, I'm too busy, I can't get to the gym. It's like, oh, well, you're probably just saying that like your health isn't a priority. It's different to someone that's like, oh, I want to be shredded for my Euro trip. And then they're saying, oh, it's like I'm too busy to get this done. It's like, oh, I can sort of understand. It's like, it's probably not really a priority. It's like if it is and you're really, really desperate because you do want to look good for that trip, it's like, well, then yeah, maybe it should be a priority for you, but like I can get it.
Yeah.
But it is a very like that one is a very two-sided thing.
Mm.
Mm.
I think a lot of it's understanding too, because like even if your goals around training are not aesthetic related whatsoever, at the end of the day, if you understand the benefit of resistance training and you understand that like the 45 minutes that you prioritize towards a session are literally gonna extend your life for years and years and make like the last 30, 40 years of your life significantly more enjoyable because you have the bone density and when you fall over, you don't break both hips. Like, I'm sure if everybody understood that and the actual like extremeness of it, they would look at their training sessions as being more so like something that your doctor would prescribe to you. Like if your physio is telling you to do this, do that, you're probably more likely to. But I think, yeah, just a lack of understanding. Same thing with steps. People don't understand that, like, steps isn't just about driving output, it's literally making you a significantly healthier person, both physically and mentally. And until you understand that, of course, you're going to look at steps as something that's a pain in the ass that's so easy for you to not prioritize. So
Hmm.
I think a lot of it too comes down to like the value of these things and understanding everything.
At the end of the day, how you do one thing is how you do everything in life. So it
Yeah,
carries over into the multiple aspects of life as well.
Mm,
100.
Just like the health and fitness side of things too.
yeah.
It can be anything. It can be social life, it can be work life, it can be anything.
Mm. And there are so many ways to fill your cup to like feel like you're meeting your own needs with like adventure and like socializing with people, seeing your family that kill two birds with one stone. Like meet up with a friend and go for a coffee and go for a walk and pick like a really nice location as opposed to like, I don't know, sitting down at a cafe and eating 2,000 calories worth of pancakes, for example. Like there are tons of little integrations that you can apply that like kill two birds with one stone to make you prioritize these things better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And who just doesn't want to look good? Like, oh,
Who doesn't want to look good? Who doesn't want to feel good? Fuck looking good. Who doesn't want to feel good?
look and feel good. They both go hand in hand. You look good. Actually, not always.
Not
But
always.
look good,
That definitely
look
not
good,
always.
look good, feel good. I'd rather that than, be, I'm not going to say
And,
the
like,
word.
yeah, the time you feel the best is what is it? What's the one that we said with Matt? It's like that couple of weeks after your show.
Like a
You
couple of
feel
weeks
your best.
post show
You're
or
starting
like
to feel a little bit better. You look good. You're
10% of
enjoying
content.
life, and then it all goes downhill from there.
You're fucked.
Kind of a dynamic. You reverse out. You look good. You feel good, and then all of
I
a
mean,
sudden,
right now, like my food's like low for me. I'm not doing a show. I'm just dieting for a little bit of a cut. I'm hungry. I'm looking forward to every meal I eat. But like, I feel fucking great. I'm productive. I'm getting shit done. Every time I tick a box, I feel like really good about myself. I'm like, man, it's 4 o'clock. I've done all my steps. Cardio's done for the week already. Trained hard today. Progressed. Now I've got to eat. Then I can just
welcome,
chill. And
welcome.
I feel good. It feels great. And it's like, I don't get how people can come to the end of the day and it's like, fuck, I've done 3,000 steps. I'm just going to go to bed. It's like, what?
I could never. I get like anxiety. Like right now, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
like
sure I've done
every time
how
I
many
go for a walk, if I don't have many, Lily will be like, "How many steps have you got left?" I'm like, "Don't ask. I don't want to check.
how
Let's just
many how
walk all
many do
the
you
way up
how
High
many,
Street. When I get back, I'll check. I should be on about 11:05, and I'll do a few around the house and we bush."
how many
She's
do
like,
how many do you have left?
"Fuck, today I don't know. I went for a decent walk this morning.
I'm gonna do 6,000 more. Maybe
All
I'll
right,
come over.
I
We'll go for a
gotta do
walk.
4K. I gotta do
Oh,
4K fine
must be
because my
nice.
knees are so fucked. That's not nice.
Fuck.
Mm.
Should have walked while we were doing this podcast. That would have been a good time.
Yeah, but you know what? Even going for a walk like after work frees your
Oh, I think
mind.
it's meant to rain. I think it's meant to rain tonight.
Yeah, it's been raining this whole podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a window in this room, so I don't know if it's raining or not,
Hmm.
which
I
is bad.
genuinely reckon that we could solve 95% of world problems if everybody had the step count of 15,000 steps every day. Those who
Probably.
like
Maybe
physically could do
maybe
it.
10K. I reckon if everyone hit 10K steps every day,
So
you'd
I
everyone.
reckon 15,000 because it forces you to get outside and like the actual psychological benefit of you being outside compared to inside is significantly better. I'm pretty sure like I will I don't know if I'm pretty sure I always tell people this anyways, that like there's so many famous poets and artists and like philosophers who came up with their like best work whilst they were walking. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like there's just so many benefits to it.
But when I go for like a
I never
40-minute walk,
understand how people get to the end of the night with 3,000 steps and say, "Oh yeah,
You
I'm
say that.
good."
You say that, and I'm considering saying to Matt, "Hey, bro, all good if we move my steps from 12K to 10K, and I'll start doing some Stairmaster post workout."
No, I
That
love
extra 2K, nah, the extra 2,000 steps just shits me. It shits me.
why.
Sorry to any clients that do it, that I get them to do it. That extra 2K gives us shits. It's like, because it's like, I know I can get 10K piece of piss, right?
so
I walk on
easily.
the treadmill pre-workout, I walk on the treadmill post-workout, walk around during my training session, go for a walk in the morning, come back, trot around the house, clean up a little bit, do whatever. I'm at 10K. But that extra 2,000 is
You're
just
so
like
right, bro. It's
biggest,
like
the
people
biggest drag ever.
I've
right
had
now. Go on.
I've had 12K steps since Michael coached me at the start of my prep, whenever that was in 2023. It went to like 18,000, I'm pretty sure, through my prep. And then when I signed up with Joe, which was like throughout that time, I still had steps sitting high. For like the 49 weeks that I've worked with Joe, I've still had 12,000 steps this whole time. So I've never dropped for the past like however many years below 12,000. And I reckon that purely just because it hasn't moved, I've just adapted to
Yeah, that
it.
would be better.
12,000 feels like I haven't moved much in the day now.
Yeah.
Like it's literally part of me. Like if I get every day when I get 12,000, I think, oh, I need to go for a walk. I feel like I haven't done anything today.
That's
It's
grouse.
Nah, see, if I knew I had to do
actually like
4,000
ingrained in
more,
me.
if I knew I had to do 4,000 more today instead of 6,000 more, I'd be like, easy.
It's so true what you said there,
That
James.
extra two, that extra 2,000,
I'm
I'm
on
sitting there
8,000
like,
now. I'm
fuck. Like,
I'm on 8 now. I know if I had 10K steps, like I go make a meal, I'll walk a bit around the kitchen while it's
about
cooking, while I have my
1,000.
shower, walk to the couch, walk back to my computer. I'll get 10 in like an hour, right? But now I've got to get another four. It's like, fuck, this won't be achievable in the house. I need to get out now. I need to go for a walk. But I reckon what you were
I
saying before, if people were doing like 12, 15,000 steps a day, it's going to sound contradicting because we post shit, but get rid of like Instagram Reels, TikTok. People would just feel so much better
Yeah,
because they're
100%.
so garbage to watch.
The two things that I reckon are the biggest contributors to like not actual like mental health disorders, but just poor mental health, I reckon is like lack of steps and social
Like
media
a
use.
Mm.
and Vit D. People need some Vit D.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
social
yeah,
media.
fuck social media, bro. I hate social media. If it wasn't for my job, I wouldn't use it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I hate it.
As you can probably tell, I don't really use it a lot recently, which is
I say
probably
that
bad
all the
I
time.
like
timing,
it
but
for
I
certain things.
fucking hate social media, man. I hate using Instagram. I hate using TikTok. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know,
I've
man.
been blocking a lot of accounts recently. So, like all these ones of like people just trolling with all these like risk curls and shit, all these like rage bait sciencey shit. I've just been blocking them because it's been angering me sitting in bed watching and like I don't want to see this shit. Because I'm so close like writing a comment. I'm like my thumbs are ready and I'm like just don't do
Yeah,
it.
it's
Don't do
never worth
it.
it. It's never worth it.
No.
I find the easiest thing to do anytime anybody posts really anything that I'm like, I don't want to see that, or I don't want to see that again, or just anything, I instantly just like unfollow them. Like I don't care. It's not worth it. And at the end of the day, anyways, I don't post to appeal to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. I post with a pure intention of showing people that like I could be like the right coach for you, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
that's all I care about. That is literally all of us. The only intention behind our Instagrams is purely just like business related.
Yeah, you see our stuff, you think you like me, you jump on and that's it.
Yeah. We post personal stuff to obviously feel personable and like
Mm,
that's it.
yeah.
Because I have an
I
Instagram account that has
don't
like
feel
30 followers or something that I just use to like follow like fucking cat memes and Theo Von clips and whatnot. And like I don't follow anybody on that like pisses me off whatsoever.
yeah,
I'm surprised you still follow me then.
I just post me being
That is true.
stupid on my story half the time, so it's people realize that I'm
A
stupid.
person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not a
normal.
robot.
Yeah, not AI.
And I'm proper stupid. Like I'm when I say stupid, I don't mean dumb stupid. I mean like I'm proper stupid. Like some of the shit that I come up with is
Very
fucked.
intelligent. Make sure you tell people that you're intelligent to just
Intelligent, but some of the shit that I come up with, if you spent
silly.
like, if you were to ask, if you were to be a client that's like trained with me or spent time with me, it'd be like, this cunt's
He's
fucked.
yeah,
I think people just have to watch our YouTube videos to pick up on that.
Probably,
so
probably.
true.
Our YouTube is literally, I reckon, just like James's like
Actual persona.
documenting himself, yeah, and his personality.
It's actually me. And if anyone's listening to this hasn't watched our YouTube videos, go watch them
Mm.
because they're fucking hilarious.
Most
They're
of,
hilarious.
most of the clips I get anyways are literally just you saying something so fucking stupid that I think someone's gonna laugh at that.
Phenomenal.
I was
Have
looking at them today. There's so
you got
many.
good Oh, that I haven't posted.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Where are they? I
Quite a
can't
few.
post anything tonight. Esty's posting my that photo shoot that I did with him
Should we end
today.
this
So he's gonna have to
podcast now?
put with me. Yeah.
Well,
Thanks
everyone
for listening, everybody.
listening.
I
Thank
don't
you.
know when this is going to come out. On another note, anyone that listens to this, because this would be good for long-term subscribers, we're looking at getting some t-shirts made. So if anybody that's listening to this up until this point is interested in t-shirts and they have an idea of sort of what style they'd like the t-shirts to be, can you please direct message me? Because we sort of have an idea, but at the same time, we want the people to like them as well. So
Yeah.
shout out to yeah,
Rock
that's
on,
it.
everybody. Rock on.
Catches.